First up is Colin.
Hey, Herm, good to see you. Glad you're back and doing better.
Thank you.
Hey, where are you guys at, I guess, from a number standpoint in terms of how close are you to being full strength, and what's your confidence level in actually being able to play a football game this week?
We're confident about playing a game. We're excited about playing a game. We haven't played a game in a month. It's kind of like our first game, but we didn't practice yesterday. We practiced over the weekend, and we'll start back again tomorrow. Lo and behold, it's an 8:30 game, so it's like we're waiting forever to play this game. But I think our players are very excited about playing football again, which is good.
Michelle.
Hey, Coach. Being that it's been so long since you played, does this almost feel more like the first game than the second game?
No, you're right. It feels like we're just opening the season again. It's kind of funny. We opened the season against the Los Angeles team in USC, and now we're waited for a while and played another LA team. So except we get to play them at home. It's our first home game, which I think all the guys are excited about, to play at home finally. That'll be a lot of fun. It's been a long time. And so I think everyone's excited about having the opportunity to play against a good UCLA football team. I think Chip's done a nice job of really creating the type of offense and the defensive players that fit his mold of what he wants to do. If you watched him play, Felton kid he's got a chance maybe to be the MVP of the conference. He is having an outstanding season. His ability to run, and catch the football. Their defense is very athletic. So this is going to be a good contest.
Zach.
Hey, Coach, meant to ask this last week, slipped my mind. Thanksgiving dinner, going around the table, what were you thankful for this year?
The opportunity actually to be with my family. And they were all healthy. We were all healthy, actually, for Thanksgiving. So that is a good thing. And just, I think, when you look at Thanksgiving and you go back to all the family outings you've had, and with grandparents, with parents, with in-laws, that wasn't the case for us this year. And maybe one of the first times, because generally wherever I've been, if I've been coaching, generally those families would come visit for Thanksgiving. This was not the opportunity to do that this year because of the virus. So we did a lot of FaceTime. And, my mom is an older lady now. She's in her 90s. She's 95, and my wife's parents are getting a little older too. So it was good to see them, to visit with them. And I was thankful that they're still around, that I could visit with all of them, to be quite honest.
Jordan.
Hey, Coach. So it's obvious you're excited. The team's excited. What's the message to sort of channel that excitement for this game against UCLA now?
Well, we actually get to play a game again. We played one game, didn't turn out like we had liked, and now we had to wait all this time to play again. And so I think our players are very excited about playing football. You put so much work into it, and you practice all these hours, and this has been something that I don't think anyone will ever forget in the world. Not only just in Arizona, but I think in the whole world. I think everyone's been affected by this virus one way or another. And it's made us all have to adjust. And life is not normal. Hopefully one day it will become normal again.
Trevor.
Hi, Herm. You broke down UCLA a little bit. Looking back at last year's game, I know you were disappointed just with the penalties and some of the self-inflicted stuff you guys had. What were your kind of takeaways from that game, and then maybe just some of the challenges about facing UCLA this year?
Well, we got off to a bad start. We dug ourselves a really deep hole. We were down early in that game and then kind of fought our way back. But you're right. It was marred with a bunch of fouls. We turned the ball over too many times in that football game. And now going forward, you look at their team now. And as I said, this is Chip's third season we became in together. He's starting to collect the players and trying to fit the system in. They're very dynamic in their running game. They have two wonderful backs, do a nice job with their tight ends. of blocking. They've got a big offensive line. Quarterback missed last week, but he'll be back this week, I would assume. He's very dynamic, can throw from different platforms. He's fast once he gets outside the pocket. And you saw that early in the games. You know, he can make a lot of plays and extend plays with his legs. So that's a concern for any defense. And then defensively, they're big inside. They have some athletic linebackers that run. They play hard. And so this is going to be a test for us.
Hunter.
With so much time off and guys coming back from potentially being sick, is there kind of like a re-ramp up process that you guys are going to have to go through conditioning wise to get ready to play this game?
Well, I think anytime you've been off this long and you haven't played, it's back getting into football shape. And you just mentioned it. And conditioning is a big part of it. You see a lot of these guys that are able to come back. You know, their stamina, their football stamina is not like it would be. You know, when you start playing football games, you get into this football mode. You get in shape as you play. And so all of a sudden we had a little time off, so we got to find our way back into that football shape.
Doug.
Herm, are you guys still going through any contact tracing or quarantine, or do you expect to be full strength on Saturday?
We expect to have our players ready to play. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So we're doing everything we can do to make sure that we're all available to go. And I think that has been the cry from everyone, from coaches, players, everyone involved in the building. And it's a shame, you know, we went almost 8 months, and we were doing a pretty good job, and then it affected us. And we're glad we're past that. Now we've turned the page, and we'd like to continue to play football games.
Michael.
Yeah, Coach, to piggyback off that, you talk about playing the one game, having the time off. Usually after the first game, you always say, okay, here's the film, things to obviously improve on both sides. But when you look at getting into a groove, though, offensively and defensively, usually after the first game, it seems like the offense kind of picks up a groove just in general in football. How do you feel on both sides of the ball, though, that they've responded now that you're back in practice? But what kind of groove do you expect them to be in?
Well, don't know, because we haven't played again for about almost a month, right? And so I just think the timing of the offense is very important. We've had some practice time, which has been good. Defensively, did a pretty good job, I thought, the first game of taking the ball away. But here again, this is a team that likes to run the football, so we're gonna have to be very stout in our run defense. And you know, they have some explosive players in the passing game as well. So this is a very balanced offense. Defensively, as I said, they run to the ball. They're one of the better sack teams in the Pac-12. They probably lead the Pac-12 in sacks and pressure. So, you know, we got to be able to protect our quarterback. And we got to do some things in the passing game. You know, we got to be more explosive in the passing game. I think that's going to be important to us.
Yeah.
Herm, I know a lot of things can change as the week goes on, as we found out, but you know, you feel confident at this point that you guys will play Saturday?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Jeff.
Herm, I wanted to go back, talk a little bit to coming off the USC game. I mean, you got things you definitely want to get done after that game. Have you been able to get any of that done, even just to feel like you got a better handle on the passing game or the receivers or some of the things that didn't go well against USC?
Yeah, I think structure-wise, you know, we didn't have enough plays, for one. When you think about it, we only threw 23 passes. Now, you know, we're not a team that wants to throw it 60 times, but we want some type of balance. But going into that game, the thing we wanted to do was try to control the clock and not allow them possessions. Our run game was very good against USC. We did a lot of good things in the run game. But in the passing game, not enough explosive plays. You know, Jade made some plays with his legs, but not enough big plays in the passing game. You need to do that. You know, you got to move the ball, and you need big chunks every once in a while, and that was not the case. Now you got to give him credit. You know, secondary did a pretty good job of things, but we got to improve on that part of it.
A few more questions for Coach. Michelle.
Coach, they've played 4 games and you've played 1, and it was a month ago. Obviously, that's got to be an advantage for them. Is there a way to kind of help you overcome that? Because that's a pretty big advantage.
No, we just have to go play. we got to go play. We have to prepare, and we've done a nice job. Our coaches have done a pretty nice job so far preparing our players. We have to go play. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's what we're going to do, and we're excited about the opportunity to play.
Zach.
Coach, in week one, as you're aware, there was a little bit of a disconnect between Jaden Daniels and some of the rookie wide receivers. Do you think that this pause, they've been able to work through it maybe and work on that chemistry since then?
I hope so. There'll probably be a few more that play this week, by the way, and that's okay. That's kind of where we're at. It's not like we have a lot of veteran receivers, right? Frank, that's about it. All the rest of them are pretty young, and so that's okay. They'll get through it. We'll be okay.
Doug.
Herm, you have the NCAA has given everybody a free year of eligibility, and you have some guys who might want to take advantage of that rule. Have you had those conversations yet, or do you have a good feel who might want to come back for an extra year next year?
Yeah, I've got a pretty good feel, and I don't want to mention who they are. I don't want to get into that at this point. We can talk about that when the season ends, and I'll be more versed on who's thinking about coming back and who's not. There's been some pretty good conversations thus far.
Talia.
Hey, Coach. So with how good the run game was against USC, how does that group carry that momentum after such a long break?
Well, we got to continue to do that. I think if you're UCLA, you're gonna load the box up a little bit on us and try to stop us from running. That would be my thinking if I was them. And with that being said, we're gonna have to make some plays in the passing game, and that's where we're gonna have to improve. I thought our run game, for the most part, was pretty consistent, to be quite honest. And with three runners and really the two runners that had never played a Pac-12 game, I thought they played pretty well. And now we have to get more balanced on the other side of it and play better as far as in the passing game. Be more consistent there with our offense.
Nick.
Herm, the energy since the guys are back out at practice, can you sense relief from them, excitement? What do you kind of see? Yeah, they're excited. They want to play. They want to play another game. They're excited about the opportunity. This has been a long haul for everybody. Yes. I mean, remember, we were stopped in the beginning. We were postponed. So you can imagine what we went through. And then we finally got to play. And then after that, we had another postponement. And so, this has kind of been up and down, and it's been challenging for everyone.
Last question, Jordan.
Was this the most time you were able to spend watching film on one game? Have you watched a lot of the USC film now over the last month?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's one thing you watch. You watch so much tape on your opponent, and the thing about UCLA, every week they have a different game plan offensively for what they're going to do. Chip does a nice job of every week having a plan how he wants to attack certain defenses, and how he wants to attack the personnel of your team. So it'll be interesting how they want to attack us. But we've had a lot of tape time. There's no doubt about that.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You guys be well. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.